When we compare Revit structure with Stat Pro and ETABS, the fact that Revit is not a proper software for structure analysis. What the best thing about Stat and ETABS is it's better for structure analysis, whereas Revit is not possible for analyzing any software. So what we can do here is we can export the model from Revit structure to ETABS and re-import back that final or the calculated or the predicted model from ETABS back to Revit structure, and we can add all this reinforcement right in the software. So let's try to do that right in this video. So the first thing what I'm trying to do here is I'd like to pick up a structure template right here, and afterwards I'll be drawing some grid. Maybe I know a grid is somewhere over here. Yep. Alright, okay, I'm much more interested in the tree base structure. Alright, okay, that's far enough. Right now I'm much interested in doing a concrete design rather than going to steel, so that I can show you much interactive design right in the software ETABS. Alright, okay, the first I'll be picking up a column. So this one is currently ISMB 300. I can switch back right into a concrete column, 450 by 600, and I'll be placing right at grids. Okay, that's it. So you have the column right now here. Then we can go for adding beams. I'll be picking up concrete beam, maybe 300 by 600, and I'll be placing this stuff right on grids. Alright, okay. Well, that's cool. So we got beam and we got column. Right now I'll be placing some slab here. Alright, okay, the better option is we can get into floor for placing up slab. Alright, I got two methods for drawing slab. Either you can ignore the center beam and picking up first point here and second point here, which is not a proper method, as you might know about the theory of nodes or the FEM, finite element analysis theory. If I had placed my slab like this without providing any intermediate nodes right in here, the load might not be transferred, and the load will not be transferred right into this center beam, so which is not a great way. So what's the job of the center beam? No job. They are not transferring the load from slab to beam. So the better way or the best method is the first I'll be changing up the thickness right into 150. Okay, right in Revit structure I'll be placing up a slab like this. Okay, then I'll be cutting this slab right into two in ETABS. Okay, that's enough. So you got this slab right here, and this one will be obviously one-way slab, but if I split it right into two, this will be acting as a two-way slab, as I think this figure will be much more rectangle. So right in here I'll be selecting up this span direction and turning this right into a two-way slab. Okay, alright, next thing I'll be interested in placing up certain loads, combinations and all in Revit. Okay, for that get into analysis, and before that I'll be turning on the 3D model. Alright, okay, so I'm not physically providing any sort of physical support, rather getting into analyze. Then I'll be placing up certain boundary conditions, which will be the support here. Okay, so the support shall be maybe I like to place some pin support right in the base. So picking up all these base points. Alright, okay, so the case for support is fixed, not fixed, it's pinned. Alright, anyways. Alright, so we got the support right here. Then let's get into certain load cases and load combinations. We got a couple more load cases right here. As I don't want all these loads, I'm not interested in placing all these loads here. I'll be placing some dead loads and live load. Okay, that's enough. Alright, okay, so right in here, loads, get into the dead load. Maybe I'll be placing some hosted point loads or hosted line loads here. Calculating the wall load, assuming that a wall is right here, so the value of the dead load can be maybe minus 13. To calculate the wall will be density in the width of the brick and the floor to floor height. Maybe I'll be calculating the floor load right and applying it right in here. Okay, so that's a wall load right there. And let's get into an area load, where the area load shall be yeah, let it be -1, and I'll be placing the whole area load on this slab right there. And maybe let me try to yeah, you got the point load are there, you got the line load right here. You know, basically these loads are just like just you can draw it in any way, but you know that the hosted line load will be acting on to the analytical model. So that's the difference between these analytical assets here. Okay, so you know, I placed a single load on the dead load, and the other one will be turned right into a live load. So one load, wall load, is on the dead, and the live load is acting on the floor. So that's the two load cases which I provided. And let me get into the load combinations. Okay, getting to load combinations, first I like to add a combination. Just give him a name. I'll be interested in placing a simple combination named as 1.2 into live plus dead. Okay, alright, let's add the factor. This one will be 1.5 dead and 1.5 live. Alright, okay. Well, that's enough. I'm not going for any particular usage type. So there's a single load combination which is 1.5 into dead and live. So there is nothing other to provide right in here. The last step what I can do here is get into add-ins. For this thing to work, you need to have a separate software which is known as CSI X REVIT. CSI X REVIT, okay? That's not free. Okay, you got 4 options. 2 options are for importing and 2 options are for exporting. Okay, I like to export the model, though there is 2 options in each cases. The first thing will be exporting the model right into a new structure. The second option will be exporting a model right into an updating structure or an existing structure. Okay, I like to export this model right into a new model. Okay, so we're gonna picking up the second option, and you need to pick up which and all assets that you need to place. So there is no walls, no floorings, no point loads and all. So now I like to export this right into an earlier version of ETABS. Currently I'm using ETABS 2016, so I need to enable this option. Alright, gonna wait some time. Okay, okay, any folder that's not constrained, this one will be to REVIT. Okay, there's a warning which I'm not going to care. Turning ETABS. Yeah, okay, picking up the unit, picking up the code, and I'll be interested in concrete design. Okay, I'm not going to take any grid models, so just, what are you, sir? Okay, just picking up the blank model. By default, Indian section won't come in ETABS, so we got to make it up. Alright, okay, India. This one will be concrete section, and maybe M30 or M30, whatever you like, I don't care. Okay, so we got a concrete section. Just in the same case, I like to take up the rebar section. Alright, okay. Next thing, let's get into define some section here. Okay, so for this, I'll be picking up a rectangular section. This one will be a beam. Maybe the size is 600. Picking up the concrete section here, so I'm gonna go for 600 and 230. Alright, okay, modify and show rebar. This one will be a beam, and picking up the rebar, giving up the cover. That's it. Okay, so we got a single beam here. Okay, I would like to create 2 more beams, so I just wanna copy there and follow the same procedure. So I made 3 beams, beam 600, 700 and 500. Okay, then let's try to create a column here. I'm not really much interested in the size of the column, as maybe 800 by 800 is far enough right now. Okay, picking up the rebar properties here. There is nothing else to change. I'm leaving those settings as default. Alright, okay, Next thing is the important stuff. Just gonna get into import and we'll be taking up the Revit structure file. Yeah, we'll be picking up the same file. Alright, there's a warning right here, and before solving any warning, I'll be placing up everything in meters. Okay, this one will be the material issue right in, so don't worry about that. By default, I want my floor or the slab to be picking up the M30, and the concrete shall be again M30. Okay, either you can add it or you can just picking up the Revit data right in here. Okay, leaving these settings as default, so that is totally okay. All those material warnings have been solved. Don't care about the warning one right now in here, don't care about that. Just hit OK. You know, there are 4 warnings here, doesn't matter, and we'll be saving the ETABS file. Okay, alright. Have you remember this thing which I've told? You can see that there's only a single shell is right here, but in the actual case, if you would like to split these shells, you can just make use of this option. Okay, if these are 2 rooms, I'll recommend you to split up these shells. Okay, but if it's a single room separated by a beam, you don't want to do this thing that I'm about to do. Okay, the thing is, I'm gonna select up the slab and the beam right there. Right in the edit menu right in here, I'll be dividing the shell, and divided the shell by making use of this option, which is in the section with selected frame object. I have selected the beam and I have selected the floor. Okay, just hit apply and close it. You can see that the slab has divided into 2 separate segments. You need to only do the thing when these are separated by a wall or these are 2 separate rooms together. Okay, that's it. Okay, next thing what I can do here is let me check all these load cases patterns here. I'm not going to deal any of the thing other than the dead end lie. Okay, you can see one is right here. I don't want it. Okay, there's only one required, only once. Okay, it's just a self-weight multiplier. Okay, there is no need of 10 ones if this load, the self-weight will be multiplied 10 times together. Okay, just leave it. Okay, alright. The next thing, let me try to okay, you know, if I try to right click in here and just get into here, I can see that a UDL has been applied to this frame, and also if I right click on this slab, there's a uniform load of 1 kilonewton per meter square, which comes under live load. Okay, alright, that's far enough. Let me get into the load combinations here. This one was the combination which I have applied, 1.5 into dead end live. Okay, let me try to just right click in here, and now let me try to analyze these sections. Okay, which one will be these sections exported right from Revit structure? I don't want to do that. I would like to assign a new section. Which one will be the auto select list? Auto is right in concrete. I like to pick up these 3 sections here. Okay, alright. Okay, now let's see what's happening in the case of column, and also let me assign this section right in here. So first I like to select up all the beam object type and get into beam here. So this one will select all the beam, and I'll assign the frame section auto. Just like that, I'll be selecting up all the columns. Then I can assign the column property. That one will be the column. Okay, that's it. Let me try to analyze the structure. Before that, I like to check the model in case of any warnings are generated. Yeah, no, that's perfect. Let me run the analysis now. Alright, okay. Yeah, that's okay. Now let me try to check up all these deflections, 0 and minus 4.225. Yeah, not bad, I think. Let me get into the concrete section design, frame design. Well, the first thing I like to filter up the combination. I'm not getting too much details, just analyzing the section. Okay. Yeah, that's it. Now let me try to see which section. Now, okay, this is only B500, which is the smallest among all this section here. Okay. About column. Yeah, that's totally okay for now.